Somewhere in the long dark, a vessel is moving, and nothing aboard it is wrong. The engines are sound, the cabin is warm. Every needle on the old console rests exactly where it should, except one. On the navigation screen, the destination field is empty. You know this vessel because you have been living aboard it for years. You know how to earn fuel, patch the hull, quiet the alarms, and continue through fatigue, disappointment, and emergencies. You have become good at continuing. Somewhere along the way, without any single failure, you notice that knowing how to continue is not the same as knowing what continuing is for. The drift would be easier to explain if something had broken, but the life you keep is functional, perhaps even comfortable. From outside the glass, it might look like a life someone else would be grateful to have. That makes the feeling difficult to confess. You wonder whether you have earned the right to call it emptiness when the cabin is warm. But gratitude and direction answer different needs. You can honor everything that keeps you alive and still long for something that makes being alive feel inhabited. There is no moral failure in noticing the empty field. For much of human history, survival was the task, and for many it still is. Rent, medicine, safety, the next meal, reaching tomorrow without losing anyone else. But where immediate danger receded, safety uncovered the question survival had been standing in front of. There was a time when you would not have faced that question alone, because you would have been handed a map. Religion, tradition, family, and community said where humanity had come from, what made a life honorable, why suffering existed, and where the voyage was meant to end. A person could labor, love, grieve, and die inside one great story, raising children, burying parents, feeding a neighbor. These things belong to something. When someone was lost, there were songs for mourning them. When someone was frightened, words they could borrow until their own returned. The maps could also confine. They offered belonging, sometimes only in exchange for obedience, a place in the universe, but not enough room inside your own life. Some still find in faith a living source of beauty and direction. Others carry the grief of wanting a faith they can no longer honestly summon. The old map was not perfect, but it was a map. Then came a freedom the old navigators could hardly have imagined. People won the right to question the chart, to choose their own work, beliefs, loves, and routes through the dark. But freedom carried a clause nobody read aloud. When the inherited map dissolves, the person at the controls inherits the navigation. The screen fills with careers, cities, partners, beliefs, and ways of living, and not one arrives marked as correct. You wanted the freedom to steer, and received it with the silence that comes afterwards. Who should you become? Should work be a calling, an income, or something that leaves enough of you for the rest of life? Beneath every choice waits the suspicion that another life might have been more truly yours. So the eye moves towards the light. Certain destinations shine from far away. Money promises freedom from dependence. A home looks like safety. Recognition promises that your effort will be seen. Romantic love appears to offer an end to loneliness. None of these lights are false. Sometimes making a room beautiful is an act of hope. Buying the better chair means admitting you expect to be here long enough to use it. And love is no foolish destination. We are born into consciousness alone, yet spend our lives reaching across that distance. Of course, we dream of someone who will cross it back. The disappointment arrives only after the landing. The achievement and relief are real, The person you were on the way there would have wept to see you arrive. Then the extraordinary becomes ordinary, and the uncertainty you flew there to escape steps off the ship beside you. A home can shelter a life, but cannot say what that life is for. Money can free your time, but cannot choose what deserves it. Recognition cannot tell you whether your work has made you present inside your existence. Love can accompany you through the dark, but no person can live in your place. The destination mattered. It simply was not final. No universal coordinates exist. No single work, faith, family, or way of life can be prescribed for everyone. One person finds their bearing in children, another in service, friendship, art, or the patient keeping of a peaceful life. What looks uneventful from outside may contain precisely the stillness someone crossed years of chaos to find. But the absence of one destination does not make every way of traveling equal. Some ways leave you absent from your own days. Others make you more present, responsible, and alive. Meaning may arrive first as responsibility, the person whose well-being has become inseparable from your own, or the work you still believe should exist when doing it feels ordinary. Notice what enlarges you rather than distracts you. Notice what kind of fatigue leaves something clean behind it, and what kind erases you. Notice what you protect when nobody applauds. Your bearing may be written in what you cannot stop caring for. Choosing is hard because every route closes others. Choose this work, city, partner, or life, and 1,000 unlived versions of you go dark. Every sincere commitment contains a small funeral. Indecision is not always cowardice. Sometimes it is grief. So the traveler waits for the transmission that will finally say, "This way." But the vessel moves through the years while the decision stays unmade. Friendships alter their orbits. Doors drift out of range. Parents age. Habits harden into hull. Circumstance enters coordinates on your behalf. Drift is also a direction. No complete map is coming. Meaning begins when a hand comes down on the console. When someone places real weight behind a heading they cannot verify, the course can change. Commitment is the courage to inhabit the life before you while it is yours. The routes that matter often cost. Love gives another person the power to hurt you. A child spends your sleep and certainty. Caring for anything guarantees grief ahead. Happiness asks how the crossing feels today. Meaning asks whether it remains worth making. But meaning must not sanctify suffering. Some pain is simply injury, and some commitments consume rather than deepen a life. A worthy purpose should not demand your disappearance. Ask what the hurt serves and whether anything living remains on the other side. Now pull back and let the ship grow small. Watch it shrink against its planet, the planet against its star, the star against its galaxy, the galaxy against a darkness scattered with billions more. Somewhere inside that immensity, your lifetime is passing, and beside the age of those stars, it barely registers. For most of that time, no human voice was here to call the darkness beautiful. No one waited beside a window. No one feared death, because no one like us was yet alive to lose anything. Then, somewhere in the long unfolding of matter, something began to experience the universe from within. Matter learned to remember. It learned to anticipate, grieve, make music, lie awake in fear, and turn towards another frightened creature in the night. For one impossible interval, the universe contained beings capable of asking what it meant. Held against that scale, human affairs can seem to dissolve. No star visibly flickers when someone is cruel. No constellation rearranges itself when someone keeps a promise. The universe does not explain itself in a language we know how to translate. A cold thought becomes available. If we are this small, perhaps nothing we do to one another matters. Against eternity, what difference could one broken promise make? Then look again. At the base of the frame stands one small figure against the stars. A second steps beside them. The dark is just as vast, and the silence just as deep. Yet the picture now holds the rarest thing we know of. Two conscious lives, lit for the same brief instant in the same corner of forever, close enough to find each other. Out of nearly 14 billion years, the same sliver of time. Out of all that distance, the same small world. Out of every accident that might have kept them apart, this meeting, two lit windows in an ocean of dark. But improbability is not the only reason the meeting matters. From inside that second life, pain is as immediate as it is inside yours. Fear closes their throat, grief alters their body, hope asks something of them. Their hours disappear at the same rate as yours. They are not a figure in the background of your existence, but the center of a world as vivid to them as yours is to you. To come close to another person is more than encountering something rare. It is to come within reach of an entire interior world, one that can be sheltered or damaged by what you do. One life slowly learns the weather of another. It learns which silences mean peace and which mean pain. It remembers how they take their tea, the expression before they admit something is wrong, the sound of their footsteps in another room. Their name stops being a word and becomes a region of existence. A person who loves you is spending the only lifetime they will ever be issued. They hand you hours that will not return, trust that took years to build, and attention drawn from a reserve steadily running down. They let you stand inside the small portion of the universe they experience from within. Our smallness does not make that worthless. It makes it astonishing, improbable, unrepeatable, and far too brief. And because their inner life is no less real than ours, what we do to them does not become trivial beneath the stars. The universe may be too large to register a broken promise. The person receiving it is not. People ought to be good to each other. The statement is almost embarrassingly simple. Perhaps that is why adults become so skilled at finding exceptions. Yet people are so often not good to each other. Creatures who met against impossible odds treat the meeting as ordinary. We speak carelessly to those we could not bear to lose, and let contempt into rooms that took years of tenderness to build. We call avoidance peace, indifference independence, and fear a verdict on someone else's worth. We behave as though patience were permanent, love endlessly renewable, and the person beside us replaceable, until the cabin holds an empty seat and we understand what had been sitting in it. Often this is not because we feel nothing, but because feeling has become associated with danger. People who learned that tenderness would be used against them become careless with the tenderness of others. People who were abandoned leave first. People who survived by needing little experience another person's needs as a threat. Someone is hurt, closes around the hurt, and eventually hands it to another person in a different form. This deserves compassion because cruelty rarely grows in a vacuum. Much of what harms others began as an attempt to survive, but compassion is not absolution. A defense can be understandable and still become destructive. To understand how a wound was made does not grant it the right to keep wounding. Our suffering explains some of what we do. it cannot make other people responsible for carrying it forever. Perhaps goodness begins when we notice old pain reaching for a new person and refuse to make them pay its full price. The person who was hurt still carries the hurt in their body, their startle, the way they hesitate at doors they once walked through freely. The universe may not intervene to protect people from our cruelty. That is a reason to be less cruel, never more. Being good does not mean never failing. We bring old alarms into new rooms. Sometimes we realize too late that someone was asking for tenderness in a language we had not learned to hear. Goodness is what happens after failure becomes visible, an apology that does not center its own comfort, listening without asking the injured person to reassure you, changing the behavior so remorse becomes more than another feeling they must accommodate, repairing what can be repaired and accepting the consequence where it cannot. Love does not entitle us to access, forgiveness, or another chance. Sometimes compassion means no longer insisting that the person we hurt participate in our redemption. To be good is not to remain innocent, it is to become responsible. So let the voyage narrow, down from the galaxies to one small ship, through the hull and into a lit room, to a table, a face, a pair of hands. This is the scale at which meaning stops being an idea and becomes something a person can hold. Keeping a promise when breaking it would be easier. Listening while someone gathers the courage to say a true thing. It is making room for another person's no without treating it as cruelty. Staying with someone who is frightened, offering nothing brilliant, simply refusing to make them face the dark alone. None of this explains consciousness or decodes the mystery beyond the hull. It does something more urgent. It changes what existing feels like for someone already here. You may never be handed the purpose of the universe in words you recognize. You can still become part of the reason another person is glad to be alive inside it. A life can be held together by gestures no history will preserve. A person survives a terrible year because someone kept answering the phone. A frightened person learns that honesty need not end in abandonment because once someone stayed. No monument records these things. The people inside them do. The vessel travels on, and outside the glass the great questions remain unresolved. The chart is incomplete. No transmission has arrived to explain the voyage. Perhaps one never will. Perhaps we have mistaken silence for absence. But the cabin is no longer empty. 2 cups stand beside the observation window, one still warm. A blanket has been drawn over someone's shoulders. A second coat hangs by the airlock. A message rests beside the controls. I've gone to sleep. Wake me if you need me. Later, 2 people sit in the half-dark and watch the stars pass, not because the view explains everything, but because it is better watched together. Perhaps purpose was never a planet waiting to be reached. Perhaps it is a way of traveling, how the controls are held, the promises kept aboard, the lives protected in transit, the care taken with those who entrusted part of their crossing to us. The people beside you are moving through the same darkness without a complete map. They carry memories you cannot see and fears they may never name. They hope, as you do, that the crossing counts for something. One day, one of you will sit beside the window without the other. There will be a cup no one uses, a coat that no longer hangs by the door. A phrase the silence can imitate but never reproduce. Every shared voyage contains that future within it. This is not a reason to love less. It is the reason to be present before absence arrives. Say the kind thing while the person can still hear it. Apologize while there is still someone there to receive it. Look up from the controls. Notice who is traveling with you. Do not wait for the universe to explain why they matter. Treat them as though they do. The silence of the stars is not proof that nothing cares. It is only silence, and silence holds more than one meaning. Let uncertainty make us humble, not indifferent. Let us care for one another, not as consolation for an empty universe, but as our way of answering its mystery. Not because we were commanded from the stars, nor because the stars are barren, because among all the stars, we found one another. For a little while, neither of us had to travel empty. Be good to the people beside you, all the way through the dark, for as long as the voyage lasts. Thank you for watching and for walking this path alongside me. If you'd like to support the channel, please like and subscribe. For high-resolution art, music, and full transcripts, consider joining me on Patreon. Until then, carry these reflections gently with you, and I hope to see you again in the next video.